I have those issues, the mental illness. It's all about creativity here.
Yes.
I wrote a book called Near Future. It's a science fiction, and it is a collection of 5 short stories. And I enjoyed writing them so much that I am now writing the second episode of each of those 5 stories. So I'm working right now on the second episode of the second story, which is Your Only Old Ones, and it takes place in a nursing home. But this is in the future, and these people have grown up with virtual reality, and so they use it all the time. So these people that are in different states of being an invalid are using virtual reality to visit with their relatives and friends and go places. And so anyway, what's happened though recently in the second episode is I created something that I started to realize that I had created another kind of science, because I didn't have any word to describe it. And so what I'm calling it is remote viewing. In fact, I've created a glossary now of terms in the near future, because I keep having to make up words to describe things that don't exist yet, So anyway, this thing that I created, I'm calling it remote viewing. And what that is about is that there's this trail system in real life in the future that it connects all the other trail systems. It goes from up in Canada all the way down through into South America. And the reason for it is to promote open borders, and also to get people to walk, to go outside and walk. Now we're into renewable energy, and we're trying to also get people healthier by exercising more, and people are like taking little trips down these trails, throwing a backpack on and taking the family and camping or staying at people's house, because they have the, just like now, you might have people that are renting out a room in their home or something. So anyway, so this trail system exists, and in my 4th story, there is a lady that will take a trip on it in real life. But in this story, the new thing that happened is it has been made available by remote viewing. What that means is that they're taking the camera footage, because there's cameras everywhere, you can use GPS and you can see anything. And they're taking that and turning it into a format for virtual reality. So now you can go on this trail system in real time. So you will see, if somebody is walking down the trail, though, you will also see that person. If the little animals are playing, you will see them playing, and you could be there in virtual reality, and you can walk down the trail. But the other thing is that the audio is also, there's a new technology where the audio actually comes from the source. So, if there's a bird, you can hear the sound of the bird flying. But also, if somebody's talking, you can hear their conversation. They cannot see you. You are invisible to them. But you can see them. And that's what's happening in this story. And I'm just going to start reading it to you. Now, it's really just 1 page, so it's not that long. Okay, remember, they're living in a nursing home. The next morning at breakfast, Trevor was notably absent. "I think we should check on him," Millie announced after it was agreed that there must have been something wrong, since he was always the first to arrive and save tables for the group. There were several people around 2 tables at the time. Everyone made agreeable comments to her offer, but before she could get up to leave, he came through the cafeteria door. He looked somber as he approached the table. "Walter had another stroke," he explained. "He's not doing so good." Everyone expressed concern. He was a well-liked neighbor, even though most of them had never had a conversation with him. Trevor seemed to be the only one who could understand him after his previous stroke. Someone asked if he had family. That was when Trevor explained that his wife had passed, and his only child was a daughter who passed away a year ago. Shortly after that, he had his first stroke and became a resident of the nursing home. The group of people now discussing him appeared to be his closest he had to a family. But that was a common theme. The city nursing home was where people ended up when they ran out of family and money. Well, he probably won't last much longer anyway, Buck muttered. No one replied back, but all of them had experience with death. It was an intimate relationship for each of them. Sometimes they even thought of the Grim Reaper as a friend that might end their personal struggles and loneliness. But for now, they each felt a little pain for Walter. And now, I should explain, maybe I need a little bit in here, but now they're on the trails, okay? So now they're in Ohio. They're going down the Buckeye Trail. The weather in Ohio was stormy. Soon after the group synced up on the trail, a sky full of black clouds whipped up a strong wind and rain poured down. It was interesting to watch. To be in the middle of a storm and not feel the wind. To be out in the open as rain poured down and yet not get wet. But the most impressive part was the lightning. It was striking very close. The thunder was startling, but knowing that you were actually safe and indoors gave the group courage to be active viewers of the chaos all around them. They were awestruck. Maggie and John were spotted at the top of a tall bridge holding hands and the lightning flashing around them. Deborah watched on disapprovingly. Still, she didn't say anything after the sad news about Walter and thinking about death and then experiencing such a strong force of nature. It made the incident less urgent. Later, the wind died, the rain quit, and the black clouds dissipated, leaving a crack in the sky for the sun to burst through. Raindrops sparkled off the vegetation that was all around them. The birds began to sing, and someone spotted a family of otters in a stream that ran alongside the trail. The group was able to get an exceptionally close. They even walked out onto the water for a better view. They were like Jesus, walking on the water, invisible to the little animals that swam and then played along its banks. Such an interesting life we lead, Millie mused aloud. Oh, and if you want to, you can listen to audio-video books. I forgot to say that part. Let me just say it real quick. If you're interested, you can listen to audio-video books of each story for free. It's on YouTube, on the Flint Underground YouTube channel. And if you go to jennymunch.com, then I tried to pull everything together there. You can go anywhere and buy stuff.